Hey, good morning, YouTube. My name is Kenny. Thank you for checking out the channel. So in today's video, what we're going to do is customize some springs that we have on our Banshee shocks. So I did jump the gun. As you see, I have 3 springs back there, but we're going to go ahead and do this to a whole nother set. We have a set of shocks here that need a little bit of TLC. So what we're going to do is break these shocks down. I'm going to show you the tools that I use and everything in the process that I use to get them broken down. We're going to get them in my blast cabinet, get them blasted, get them hung up in the oven. I might get them powder coated because I really don't. I'm not 100% sure about the powder coating process because I don't need another set of candy gold shocks. So these ones are candy gold. Well, they're the golden ticket powder. I don't need another set, but I might see what I'm going to do with that. I might do it, might not do it. We'll figure that part out. And last but not least, what we'll end up doing is getting the bodies of these shocks Cerakoted and looking real good, get it all reinstalled, and have it ready to put on the machine. All right, so pardon the other junk that I have sitting here, but we do have our shock sitting here. The vise, I don't know if it's 100% necessary, but it does provide a good solid place to hold your shock. And I bought these spring removal tools here from Amazon. Basically, you clamp it on your coil spring. Just clamp it onto your spring, top and bottom, and then it'll start to pinch everything closed. Now, I did make a small modification to mine. I filed these areas here because this was a little bit too thick, and with them being too thick, they wanted to seat tightly up against the body down there, and I didn't want that. Pointless to put all this stuff together and then they scratch everything up, but you still have to be careful. I use my impact driver, my 17 millimeter, and it makes it a lot faster. So we have it exposed enough. So you can see that top right there. So the top is just basically this. There's a flat spot there that you can put a crescent wrench on, and then you can crescent wrench off the top and then get it to spin. Springs off. Yeah, it has resistance to it. We should be good. All right, I used some kind of dull vice grips and grabbed a hold of it. I mean, yeah, you do have to worry about like marring up the body, but the thing is, this part of the shock doesn't even get down there, so I'm not super stressed over it. All right, we'll get our sleeve off, and that's kind of on there. Filled with dirt and everything, but we're going to get all this blasted and all cleaned up. Everything looking real good. Powder coated, well, Cerakoted. Go from there. All right, so you all saw that we got that done. We got our shock sitting back here. I'm going to get this tower taped up so when I blast it, it's not an issue. I like to use the Gorilla Tape. It seems to work the best for what I do. Basically, I'm just going to tear off a little piece of it, close as I can to the bottom, wrap it. Then we're going to go up to the top, Wrap that so it's nice and all covered up. We're going to blast this body, blast that cap, and the locker that goes on top, and this little ring at the bottom. Get it all ready for some Cerakote. All right, shock body is going to go ahead and go in. We already have our other little parts that we talked about that are going to get blasted. We also have the springs that came off of it, how rough they look. We're just going to do a quick before and after here in a second, but let's go start blasting. All right, so everything is out of the oven. I don't know if you can tell, but it's all hanging up here. Shock 1, shock 2, look really good blasted with the texture and the form. All that stuff looks really good. It's going to hold the Cerakote really well. Same thing. We got these little clips there. We have our adjusters here. I mean, everything looks really good. So what we're going to do is go ahead. We've sprayed these off. Typically, I would hang these parts inside the oven and let them do a gas out and cure. Well, do a gas out. The gas out gets all the deep oil out. This is an experiment that I'm doing. The biggest thing is I don't know what's inside of these shocks, and I don't know how they're going to hold up to the temperature that's going to be in here. So we're going to put these in here. We're going to spray them, and we're going to see how it goes. If it works well, it works well. If it doesn't, I know. I'm just going to put these springs onto another body. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our parts Cerakoted. What we're going to do is use the high gloss Cerakote. The ratio we're going to do, we have our beaker right here. We have our, this is just a simple Amazon gun here, nothing crazy. We're going to mix it 12-to-1 with the catalyst, which is in my hand here. This is the Catalyst H100. So you want to get down there and see if you can just try to get these numbers real close. Should be getting close to, we'll get close to 24. That's close to 24. And then we'll just put 2 more ounces of the gloss for the catalyst. And we'll close these back up. We don't need a whole bunch for the things that we're going to be doing. Got me a glove that I just put on there nice and tight, just so I can get this mixed up. And typically you use a strainer. We'll strain it, put that all down in there. But we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. Like I said, we just got a couple tiny parts, so we don't need a whole bunch more than what we have here. So let's go over here and get spraying. So for some reason it's leaking everywhere, but that's probably what you have when you have cheap guns. But I'm going to go ahead and spray the top of this. You're good. So we have those parts sprayed and in the oven, right? So, well, they're out of the oven now. We sprayed them with that 2-part Cerakote, the gloss. It is the black with the catalyst. The ratio is 12-to-1. So we had roughly 24 and 2 with the catalyst and the clear, with the catalyst and the color. We put them in the oven at 300 degrees, and this is what we have right here. See, I think all these turned out really good. So we're going to have this nice set of shocks here in a minute. Bodies look really good as well. No issues with the bodies, and they still do have the, hard time getting the thing down. So we're going to go ahead and get that installed here in a minute. Get the springs on. All right, so we have our shock tower body sitting right here inside the vise, but I wanted you all to see that I did buy these expansion plugs. This is the part number here. It's kind of tore open. They are the 1 1/4 to 1 3/8 expansion plugs. These plugs, whenever you get them from Tractor Supply, pretty much look like this. They're in the hardware section. But with these plugs, what you do with these is you tighten them down and they expand out and they plug things. But I want to take all those off, and I'm going to use the rubber plug as a bump stop. So I did take my 1/2-inch drill bit. Be careful doing this. Ran it through there a couple of times to make sure I was going to be able to get it over top of this, which I will be, with a little bit of grease. And we're going to get that bump stop on there, get the sleeve back on, get the spring back on, just get this thing rebuilt. Well, reassembled, not rebuilt. As I have stated, we're going to pretty much start from the top. So we're going to get our tensioner down on there, straight down. We're going to go ahead and put our bored out rubber bump stop on there. Then we will get our sleeve and then our spring. All right, we have our spring. And with our spring, our tightly wound, this goes on there first. We just clean this up. It isn't new. It does have some scratch marks and scuffs on it and everything, but there's nothing I can do about that. So we're going to just slide that straight down on there. Try your best not to do too much wiggling with it because you might scratch it. And the spring right here, tightly wound spot up top. That's already looking good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take that off and get this locking clamp on top first. That's screwed on it real easily. Then what I'm going to do with these is the plastic thing that came out, one of these, I want to try my best to put my little hook part right here right up against that so it's not on the metal part. So we're going to go put that on there. It'll roughly be up here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Maybe just one higher up. I'm pretty sure it'd be wise just to use your ratchet, but I'm not going to be wise and use any wisdom. All right, so we have our locking mechanism right there. If you push down a little bit, you'll be able to get the ratchet on and get the crescent wrench on there. And I'm also going to put this on top just to make sure I don't scratch it all up. But we're going to go ahead and get our cap on. Put a little anti-seize in there. All right, so got a little anti-seize in that. Goes down on there with no issues. All right. So now, here is the rest. What I'm going to do is just put the crescent wrench on here. Just put it in there. Find my flat areas. You see my crescent wrench is on there. But like I said, it's not directly on top of the spring. Then we're going to do the same thing for the part that's up top. They're already seated up together. We're just going to Right there. Snug. That's that. Yep. And we're looking absolutely wonderful. I don't know, everyone. You all let me know. What do you all think? I think that looks pretty insane. Black Cerakoted shocks, two of them. Gold, candy gold springs. I mean, that's going to look absolutely wonderful on the new build. See, yeah, I need to designate me a place that can be nice and clean. So when I have the rear shock built, I'm going to actually see about blacking it out as well. I'm going to reach out to Ben and see what he can do with that. If he can black it out, that's absolutely wonderful, and it's going to have that coil spring going on there. But, man, that looks absolutely wonderful. I love it. All right, everyone, you let me know what you think. If you like them, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know. I'm just trying to get a little bit more in detail with some of the footage. A couple guys did reach out. I have been reading in the comments, so I figured I'd give it a try. So I'm not going to hold it up because it might be like a month or so before I get the coil spring back from Ben for the rear. And, you know, we'll play that by ear and see how it's going to go. But that's what's going to be going on to our gold frame. And I actually need to order me some red so that I can get that candy red or that illusion red color that I want. I mean, I really like the aesthetic red, but I'm kind of getting off topic. Anyways, if you enjoy this kind of content, hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that the next time I upload a video, you'll be notified. If you like what we're doing, check out the 93 Banshee that we did over here. And check out the 95 Banshee that we did over there.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy.